Hey guys, so today we're gonna talk about how much did it cost me owning a car for 6 months in 2022. So a little context, I own a 2017 Volkswagen Jetta that I bought back in May of 2022, in late May, almost June. A little context to then is that was when the used car bubble was at the very top. Due to the chip shortage, so many used cars were so overpriced. This car is a 2017 former rental with $60,000. So before I break down all of the costs that I incurred owning this car over the 6 months, which I'll break it down overall, and then I'll post around here the total costs adding up, and then at the end I'll post the final total. So to start off, let's talk about the finances of this car. It's on I got a 60-month car loan on this car. I bought it from a CarMax. So 60 months, and I fortunately got a super low interest rate right before the hikes. So I'm at 2.99 interest rate. The car overall after fees and taxes was $24,000. I put $7,000 down on this car, leaving me with about $17,000 on finance. So how it works is every month I have to pay $320 for this car, just to own the car. So that's $320 a month already. And then let's talk about something else, car insurance. I'm a new driver, and I only have my license for as long as I own this car. Well, I bought the car a month after I got my license, but roughly. And my insurance is about $220 a month for owning this car. That I also have drive a second car, my mom's car. But for simplicity, because that happened after this car was added, it's say $220 a month just for car insurance. And that's not the basic. That's like a mid-tier insurance policy. And then the second cost of just owning the car, not fixed costs and not variable, is registration and maintenance. Registration is about $316 a month on this car because I'm in California. That breaks down to about $25 a month in car registration. So I'll post the total so far up here before maintenance. With maintenance with this car, I'll go into detail about overall maintenance I had this year with this car. But I put away $25 a month into a savings account just for this car's maintenance, which is gonna cover the oil changes, which I get annually, and other things. But this year, or within the 6 months I own this car, I had some very high maintenance costs, which I'll talk about later. So with all of that, which I'll break down again, $320 for car loan, $220 for car insurance, and $50 in registration and maintenance. Now let's talk a little bit about gas. I bought this car when the gas prices were at its very peak, and I live in California, which is more expensive. So when I first bought this car, gas was about $6 a gallon at Costco. It's almost $7 within my city at some Chevron gas stations. So let's just put about $80 in gas in total, which I'll break down how much I actually spent on gas in the 6 months, but that's just my monthly budget, $80 for gas. So with that variable cost, here's the final total of all of my monthly costs of the car, which I will add up and put up on the screen, as you can see. Now let's talk about the cost I actually incurred while owning this car for 6 months. So let's start off with gas, since we just talked about that. So while owning this car, I have used 119.9 gallons of gas, which at an average cost of $5.21 a gallon. That is $624.67 in gas. As you can see up here, that is a lot of gas, and that's only filling up a 14-gallon tank about once a month. That cost is a little bit elevated because there were times I had to drive family members far away to the airport, an hour away, and they reimbursed me for my gas, or time that I drove up to the state capitol for an event and I got reimbursed. But that's still how much I spent. Now let's go back in reverse with our fixed costs. I spent $915.07 in maintenance. I'll break down here all of the maintenance I had to do. I'm just going to get ballpark figures that hopefully I remember about every single cost of maintenance this car had. So I got my regular oil change on my car, which I unfortunately had to get a brake fluid change with that oil change. So that set me back about $300 and some. I'll post the total up here. So that's regular maintenance. But here's two unexpected costs, which owning a car, you're going to get a ton of unexpected costs pop up. Back in August, I was leaving work and it was almost midnight, and I accidentally jumped the curb and gave myself a flat tire and completely destroyed my left passenger tire. Actually, no, it's my left driver tire right here. So that was about $131 for a new tire. Luckily, I didn't cost any other maintenance to this car. So that was an unexpected cost, which in a later video, I'll talk about why you need an emergency fund for those reasons. So here's the $131 for a new tire. And then when I was at the car dealership, as I was heading back to pick up my car, they called me saying I need new rear brakes on this car. And one thing about Volkswagen European's car, they're expensive. They tried quoting me $1,000 for the brakes, but I went to a local mechanic that only charged me $400. So overall, plus, oh, one more thing I had was I spent $20 on an air filter because the dealership charged me, wanted to charge me $80, but it was $20 at AutoZone and it was an easy job to do. So overall, I spent $915 on car maintenance. But the next maintenance I need is in about a year for an oil change, which should be only about $100. Now let's talk about car registration. I saved up about 6 to 7 months of my car registration at $25 a month. So I saved up $150 for my car registration. And then, last but not least, my car loan. My car loan that I pay $320 a month on, I have paid down this car $1,920, but that's not completely how much I paid down. A part of that goes to interest. But I still have about $16,000 remaining in this car, which is at 2.99 interest rate, which I'll talk about in a later video why I don't really want to pay that down that fast, even though it's a 5-year loan on a 5-year-old car. So overall, I'll post a total of how much I've spent on the car in owning it, because I don't have it in my head. And then over here, I'm going to post my regular monthly cost that we just spoke about. And that's how much it costs to own a car for 6 months as a teenager in 2022. And these costs will stay the same, at least my monthly costs will stay the same in 2023. Even though gas prices have dropped drastically, I still budget the same as I did back then, just in case prices go up. And whatever extra I have, I'll talk about in a different video about what I do with that money. Otherwise, thank you for tuning in. And if you like this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe down below, and there will be more to come. Thank you.